My students ask me this every single semester. Sir, should I become a data scientist? And I get it. I really do. You see the job titles on LinkedIn. You hear about the salaries. You watch some YouTube video about AI and data science being the future. And you think, that's it. That's the path. 6 figures, remote work, building the future. But here's what nobody tells you. Nobody tells you that most of the job is cleaning data. Nobody tells you that you'll spend more time in meetings explaining charts to people who don't want to look at them than actually building models. Nobody tells you that the competition is absolutely brutal right now. I'm an IT professor, and let me break down what becoming a data scientist actually looks like. Because the dream and the reality are 2 very different things. Here's the reality of data science. The job is a mix of things. You're writing code, mostly Python and SQL. You're working with data that is almost never clean or ready to use. You're building models. And then you're explaining what those models mean to people who don't really want to look at a chart. The ratio changes depending on where you work. At a big tech company, you might spend most of your time on machine learning. At a mid-sized startup, you're doing a bit of everything, including work that feels more like data analysis than data science. The title is broad. Way broader than most job descriptions let on. Now, is there demand? Yes. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects data science roles to grow around 35% over the next decade. That's well above average. But here's the catch nobody talks about. The competition has grown just as fast. You're not just up against computer science graduates anymore. You're up against people with master's degrees, portfolios of real projects, and sometimes years of domain experience in finance or healthcare. The jobs exist, but you have to be genuinely prepared to get one. Not just certified. Actually prepared. Let me tell you about 2 of my former students. Both wanted to be data scientists. Student 1, let's call him Marco. Marco took every data science course he could find. Got certified in everything. TensorFlow, PyTorch, AWS SageMaker. His resume looked incredible. But when I asked him to explain a simple linear regression, he gave me a definition he'd memorized. He couldn't tell me what the coefficients actually meant. Couldn't explain when you'd use it versus a more complex model. Student 2, let's call her Angela. Angela took fewer courses. But she spent her weekends on Kaggle. She entered competitions. She lost most of them. But she learned why she lost. She understood the data. She could look at a messy CSV and know exactly what needed to be cleaned, transformed, and why. Marco got interviews at big companies. He got rejected from all of them. Because every interviewer asked him to solve a real problem with real data, and he froze. Angela got a job at a mid-sized startup. Not the highest salary. But 6 months in, she was leading their entire data function. Because she could actually do the work. Not just talk about it. That's the gap. Certificates get you interviews. Real work gets you the job. So should you become a data scientist? Here's my honest answer. If you like working with data, if you genuinely enjoy the process of finding patterns, cleaning messy datasets, and figuring out why something that should work doesn't work, then yes. It's a fantastic career. The pay is great. The flexibility is real. The work is meaningful. But if you're chasing it because it's trendy, because you saw the salary on Glassdoor and thought that's easy money, then you're in for a rude awakening. This field rewards genuine curiosity and a willingness to get your hands dirty. It punishes people who just want the title. You don't need a PhD to get in. You do need Python, SQL, and a solid enough understanding of statistics and machine learning that you can work with them without just copying code you don't understand. How you get there, whether it's a degree, a bootcamp, or self-study, matters less than what you can actually show. Build real projects. Solve real problems. Lose real competitions and learn from them. That's what separates the people who make it from the people who don't. I'm an IT professor. The stuff your syllabus doesn't cover is the stuff that actually gets you hired. Subscribe for more rants. And tell me in the comments, are you thinking about data science? What's holding you back?